Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. When graduation becomes a very emotional event, my name is Dr. Martina. I'm the co-founder, CEO and developer of the school model of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like your child to live a fulfilled and meaningful life, then this is the channel for you. Well, when a graduation ceremony becomes really emotional, what does that mean? We just came back here from our residential week in Helsinki 10 days ago and on our last day we celebrated also our graduates. And we had 15 graduating students this year, no, actually 16 graduating students this year. And it's always an emotional moment to say goodbye to our graduates and give them the pathway and the passage towards their new lives. Whether at School Beyond Limitations, our students are graduates when they are ready, when they have completed their examinations and when they are ready to move on to their next stage in their lives. Within academia, a number of them, they continue studying at academia or in any other fields, or if they are ready also to start their jobs. So also vocational readiness is one factor within SBL to get the qualification from SBL. And I'm extremely proud of our students because first and foremost, it has been a very emotional week and a very emotional graduation ceremony. But the week, why the week? Because our students and all of our students, and in the first place, of course, our graduates, they showcase an attitude towards the outside world, which is noticed by the outside world. We had lots of people, strangers, people we were engaging with, such as workshop leaders, such as the management of the accommodation we stayed at, or random people within, the library in Helsinki who approached us and asked us about who we are, because our students come across as students with wonderful attitudes and wonderful skills, which are being open-minded, seeing people around them, helping people around them, seeing a mother with a pram accessing, the metro and helping the mother or the elderly person, and just showcasing interest in people. And this is what, for instance, the bishop, who was the owner of the facilities that we stayed at, he wanted to see me on purpose. He invited me for a conversation, for an interview or a gathering, where he said, I really need to talk to you because I have engaged with some of your students, and those students, they just showcase such a big interest in me, in the people around them. And this is quite remarkable because nowadays, oftentimes, young people are not seen this way. They are seen as withdrawn, as not being interested in others rather than in themselves. And this is what is coming across. So this was very, very touching to hear and to listen to, and to see also when workshop leaders said, for instance, that your students, they collaborate so well, they co-create. It seems that they know how, knowledge can be built in a team. There is team spirit, there is this engagement, there is this understanding to participate, and I think that makes us very, very proud. And is rather than proud, I would say it makes us really, really, really happy because we see that our students are ready to move on. When then, at this graduation ceremony, one of the students who held a speech, all those who held speeches were so moving and touching and emotional, because they said, they realized that School Beyond Limitations is basically more than a school. They realized that School Beyond Limitations is a place where they can grow as a human being, can grow into a human being that they are already within, that there are no limitations, that they are always encouraged to go beyond and to look at things from different angles and different perspectives, because we invite our students always to, and not only our students, also ourselves, to be non-judgmental by inviting them to, and ourselves to look at the situation from the perspective of the respective other, to walk the situation in the shoes of the respective other. And if I have that, if I know that this makes a difference, then I get away and start of understanding that being opinionated doesn't help. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't form opinions within ourselves, or form a judgment within ourselves, a conscious judgment based on mindfulness, based on respect and appreciation. That's okay, and that's actually the right thing to happen. But that we do not judge other people, and we do not judge a situation, that we need to first understand what exactly the reality looks like, and how it's perceived and seen from different perspectives. And this is what also outside people always recognize and see within SPL students. And when, as I said before, a graduating student in her speech says at the end of this journey, after a number of years at SPL, when she says, I'm now confident and ready to embrace my new chapter in my life, because I know who I am, and I'm forever grateful, and even beyond my death, if there is something that we can call afterlife, then this is very touching and very moving, because that means that we are not just ticking off, an examination where people say, okay, I've done this examination and I've gone through, and then I forget everything. Then this is staying with the student for a lifetime, because confidence, self-confidence, freedom, the understanding of knowing that we have our lives in our own hands, that we can always make new choices about and around our lives and in our lives, that we have the power of saying, yes, I'm doing this or that, and then we can create and co-create and and change and embrace also challenges by not judging them, by just going with them, and by understanding that this is also part of life. Then something magical has happened. Then something has happened where we can say, these are human beings that are ready to go out there, that are ready because they know what life is all about. Life is a journey. Life is messy, as I often say. It's really unpredictable. But if I know how to plan, and I know how to be flexible with life, and how to approach whatever comes along my way, then I'm a solid human being. I'm ready to go forward, and I'm ready to step up and to show myself, and to show myself in a sense of making the difference, of bringing something to the others, to society, to the community. And I think that's the beautiful thing. Yesterday I met again with a former with actually a graduate and now former student, alumni, who said to me, the graduates afterwards, they are still in contact with one another, of course, because they have created friendships for a lifetime, friendships that last in the long run. And he said to me, after the graduation ceremony, we talked to one another and we said, how do you feel about this now? It was so emotional. And they said, it feels empty somehow, empty, because they are kind of understanding that they have acquired so much within themselves. They have strengthened themselves so much that they are ready to move on. And yet it's strange to leave the setting that they felt safe in, that they felt seen in, and that they felt also listened to in, So I think this is the key thing, that even if they go forward now with confidence, they still treasure what we have created. And with this student, for instance, and not only this student, but with this student in particular, we already talked about what else can we create together. So it's not finishing something, it's actually starting anew together. So you can imagine that we ourselves feel very, very emotional and very, very moved by our graduating students, and not only by our graduating students, it's about all our students who actually showcase then in their lives with others, with themselves, who they really are. Because if they really, if they move forward as those wonderful human beings that they are and do not hide away from that, then we have achieved quite a lot, because we need each single human being out there. Each single human being, as I always say, can make the difference. Doesn't need to be big. We don't have to always think always too big. We can think big, don't get me wrong. But if thinking big is tiny little things that make themselves and others feel better, then we have achieved already a lot, because that means that we see one another, that we create an environment where each person counts and where each person feels seen. And that's an environment of respect, of appreciation, where we move forward together. And if you think this is something that you would like for your child to happen as well, then please reach out to us. You will find the website in the description.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can indeed bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.